Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's going to be an exciting video that I decided to share about my own journey to project management and how and why I did it, where did I start and where I am today. I hope it's going to inspire or help some of you, and if nothing else, be a little bit of an entertainment. So stick around and join me on my journey. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. I studied computer science with a minor in management. It wasn't like computer science was my passion or that I was a big computer geek at all. It was the way of the future, and I didn't really have a particular passion at that time. So what I looked at was the type of classes that I took in high school and what did I enjoy the most or what came to me a little bit easier. So physics and mathematics were my strengths, and so based on those, majors that I applied to were computer science and engineering, and I got accepted into computer science and very glad that I did so, as it's helped me with a great career ever since. As part of my studies, as you can expect, a curriculum for a computer science degree is a lot of coding that I did, but also some requirements gathering, and I think that particularly helped me understand the methodology to the different aspects of software development, and I truly enjoyed that part of it because I tend to be very analytical and I can be able to break things down into the level of requirements for it needs to be coded. Towards the end of my college years, I did an internship with a smaller IT company and got some exposure to the various aspects of IT. So my first job out of college was a pretty large and well-known technology company that I was fortunate enough to start right away after college. The job that I had applied to and the title that I started out my career with was Associate Programmer Analyst, basically a junior programmer, but got some analyst aspects of the job as well, which gave me a great exposure into starting with troubleshooting some tickets and using some of my problem solving and analytical skills as a programmer, but also got to write a bit of requirements. I could continue to learn and grow and be promoted year after year. So from associate programmer analyst to programmer analyst, senior programmer analyst, where I continued to move around into different groups within the same IT department and get exposure to a variety of technologies, different aspects of software development. And I think that's when the vision or the goal of becoming a project manager came to me. Not that I necessarily knew what project managers did aside from what the title implies, but the funny thing is I just used to see some of my more senior colleagues who were project managers, and I really looked up to them. I used to see them go into conference rooms and have meetings with teams and have collaborative conversations, and as a programmer analyst, you're pretty much in your cube and just heads down and working on your code, your assignment, and I really liked seeing that collaboration aspect of it when I used to see them. And so I told myself that's what I want to be. I want to be a project manager. I want to be just like them. So that's really how the vision kind of started. So I continued to just do the great work that I could at the time under each title and continue to get promoted within that career path, hoping that's where it's going to end up. And after about 4 or 5 years, I took a little time off because I had 2 children back to back, and I thought this is my motherhood duty to take a little time to spend and focus on that. So about a year I spent raising my kids until they were a little bit old enough to want to socialize and be put in preschool. And that's when I started to look to getting back into my career. So in order to get back, I started looking for analyst positions at this time. And I did get hired into a financial company, again within IT and as an analyst. And that's where I wrote a lot of requirements and started managing smaller projects on my own. So not only being the the analysts on the project, but also working with the development teams, working with the QA teams, and seeing a project through from start to finish. Continue doing that with the same goal that I had before, to move into project management, promoted into senior analyst, and eventually a project manager by title in that same company. So a couple of challenges along the way that I'll share with you were, one, beginning of my career, what was a little bit of a challenge for me to understand whether this is the right path for me or not, was that as a project manager, I didn't feel like there was a particular product that I personally was producing. Basically, I didn't have anything tangible to show for what I was doing. So I did go through a period of time thinking that, okay, maybe I should explore something else. Maybe I should try another path. But I continued on. I never took a break from that, but it just was a challenge because I didn't think I'm contributing enough. I was thinking that what I'm doing as a project manager was common sense, and that's what everybody does. So I didn't think it was anything special. It was only towards my mid-career that I started understanding my own strengths and what I'm good at. Until then, I hadn't recognized that. And I realized that I am methodical, I am analytical, I like to organize things. I like to bring order to chaos and see something from start to finish and collaborate with teams and kind of lead them towards that. None of that I even recognize that this is something that differentiates me from somebody else who doesn't want to go down that path. It was just a drive that was coming from within. So once I recognized that, I think it really helped me truly enjoy what I was doing. So it took a while to get to that point, but I persisted. I never took a break. I never changed positions. I continued down the same career path progression that I always had planned to do. And I think at some point, both of these coming together really paid off. Another challenge that I had, I remember, was stepping from an analyst who was managing project into a project manager. Managing a project was difficult to let go of the minute details of a project. Like I said, I'm a very analytical person, so I enjoy the details of everything. And at that time, I thought I need to know everything about a project in order to do a good job managing it. So when I officially had the title of a project manager, it was difficult to let go of some of those areas, and that in itself was a bit of a growing pain for me that you may or may not experience if you have a similar path as me. If you do experience that, feel free to leave a comment. I'd like to see what everybody's experiences out there are. I'm sure a lot have gone from a different path getting there, but do realize that at that time when I was wanting to become a project manager, I don't think project management was as big as it is today. I don't think at that time there was a major for project management. Not a lot of certifications. PMP truly was the only one, that certification that PMI had out there. At least that was well known. So for me, it just seemed that's the one way to get there. Now, once I did become a project manager by title, I spent the next so many years just becoming good at what I was doing. So at that time, I changed companies, went into a high-tech industry. So I've been across multiple industries as an IT project manager. Thankfully, it's been transferable because it's been from IT to IT, but at times I was asked to step into managing some business project management, or while most of my background was on the software side, I was asked to help manage with infrastructure type of projects. So at that time, I decided to make it even more official, and I decided to take the PMP, the Project Management Professional, which was and is a very well-known and globally recognized project management certification. If nothing else, to be a stamp on my resume to show that I have met certain qualifications and understand the standards of project management. So from that point on, I continued to progress within my project management title into senior project management and then principal project management, which is the top level within just project management before you get into program management. And for several years, I continued practicing in that area, gaining a lot of experience of a variety of types of projects. While I don't recommend jumping from company to company unless you have a really good reason to, I had a pretty good run with each of the companies I've been at, around an average of at least 5 or 6 years in each one of them. And one of the benefits that I gained from going from one company to another is recognizing that the skills, the experience, and the knowledge that I had, I was able to transfer to each of these companies and still be successful and still, have the same track record. Some of you might relate that sometimes we have imposter syndrome where you think that, oh, that was just a fluke that I got this project done right. I can think of so many people that so much better project managers, and it was just by chance that I managed this project and it all came together and worked out well. But one of the benefits that it helped me go from a company to company, I saw I repeatedly, with different environments and different people, had to prove myself from scratch and show that I had the same results and continue to progress in my career. So I think doing that along the way gave me a lot more confidence in what value I bring to the table. I grow more horizontally than vertically, and that's just gaining experience with a variety of different projects, because with every project, as you know, a lot of different things can go wrong and a lot of different situations that you have to deal with. So the more of those you get under your belt and have experience with, the more confident you are with the next challenge and with the next project, and you just take on more and bigger responsibilities. Switched into a financial company, and then at that company while I started outgrowing my project management role, I really started tapping into leadership and truly understanding the mindset and differences between an individual contributor and a leader. Regardless of the title, everybody can be a leader, but I think it takes a different type of mindset to get there. And that's where I really honed in on it. I had a paradigm shift, how I thought about things and how I look at my contribution to the organization versus the outcome of my individual work. And instead of what's in it for me, it's what's in it for the organization. And that really turned a switch on, and I truly started enjoying down that path. And at the same time, I was on my way to managing programs instead of projects. That's where another company reached out, had an opportunity for leading a PMO. And that's where I really felt like I was ready. I had done anything and everything I could in the project management and program management environment, and had gained a lot of experience across multiple industries and organizations and working with different people. It felt like it's time to give back. Speaking of giving back, along the way, in order to challenge myself, I did start teaching the fundamentals of project management at a local big well-known university, and I did that for a couple of years. And for a year of it, I did that in classroom style. Another year, it was online, so I had a bigger reach to project managers across the US. And fast forward, once I started leading a PMO, that's where I truly felt like where my passion was. I was paying forward all the knowledge and experience that I had gained over the years and hoping to develop other project managers with all the experiences that I had gained to get them to that state, and hoping to help them along their careers as my previous leaders had all contributed to where I was at that time. Today, I am leading a project portfolio office with a team of project managers from a variety of different levels, where I encourage my more senior project managers to help coach and mentor the more junior ones. And that's where I felt like, how can I continue passing on this knowledge to even a wider net? And that's that's where the idea of my YouTube channel came about, where this way I can reach out to all of you like-minded project management enthusiasts who are looking to tap into project management or are somewhere along your career in project management and hope to reach out to the world. This is a new project of mine, and I am excited to share my legacy and my knowledge and experience with all of you out there, and I hope it's helping. My videos are to answer the questions and curiosity that you have. So as always, feel free to leave comments below on topics that you'd like to hear about and or any part of my experience that you'd like me to dig a little further in. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe. I go through all the comments, I respond to them, and if there are topics that could be great for a video, I use your ideas to make these videos to help directly answer your questions. So when you subscribe and you hit the notification button, you're going to be notified when my next video is. So hopefully you'll see some of your topics in my future videos or answer to your questions. And that pretty much is basically my project management journey. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It's been really exciting to go down the memory lane and share my journey with you. And again, I post weekly, so make sure to return back. Check out my videos in the future. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope it's been helpful. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.